Poor circulation after 60 is often dismissed as a normal part of aging, but that idea has caused countless people to ignore warning signs that deserve attention. If your legs feel heavy, your feet stay cold even in a warm room, or you notice tingling, numbness, or cramping when you walk, your body may already be signaling that blood flow is not what it used to be. Most people are told to simply move more, elevate their legs, or drink extra water, and while those habits can help a little, they usually do not address the deeper reason circulation declines in the first place. One of the most important issues is that the body gradually becomes less efficient at producing nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels relax and widen. When nitric oxide levels drop, the arteries can become tighter, stiffer, and less responsive, making it harder for oxygen-rich blood to reach the muscles and nerves in your lower legs and feet. That is when simple activities like walking across the room, standing up from a chair, or getting to the bathroom at night can start to feel more difficult than they used to. This is not just about comfort either. Reduced circulation can contribute to weakness, slower healing, greater instability, and a much higher risk of losing confidence in your movement. The encouraging part is that your body still has the ability to support healthier blood flow when you give it the right materials. Certain foods and drinks contain compounds that help the body generate or protect nitric oxide naturally. And that is why some beverages can do much more than just hydrate. They can support the blood vessels themselves. In this video, we are ranking 10 common drinks from the least effective to the most powerful for circulation support, especially for older adults who want warmer feet, less cramping, better endurance, and more stable walking. Some of these drinks are helpful but slow. Some have benefits mixed with drawbacks, and a few stand out because they are simple, affordable, and backed by a strong biological explanation. We begin with the weakest options first, not because they are useless, but because many people depend on them as if they are a complete solution when they are not. By the time we reach the top of this list, you will understand which drinks are worth your time, which ones are overrated, and why the best option may already be easier to get than you think. If you have been waiting for your legs to feel lighter, your feet to feel warmer, and your circulation to improve in a way you can actually notice, then stay with me, because the first few drinks on this list may help a little, but the ones near the top are where the real difference begins. Let us start with drink number 10, plain water. Water matters, and nobody should pretend otherwise. Dehydration makes the blood thicker, places more stress on the circulation, and can leave you feeling sluggish, weak, and more prone to cramps. But here is where many people get misled. Water is essential for baseline function, not a powerful fix for poor circulation on its own. It keeps the system from working worse, but it does not actively stimulate the processes that open blood vessels in a meaningful way. That is why people can be drinking water all day and still have cold feet, slow blood flow, and aching legs. Think of water as maintenance, not repair. It helps prevent avoidable strain, but it does not deliver the special compounds needed to encourage more nitric oxide production. That is the missing piece for many older adults. So yes, stay hydrated, but do not expect plain water to transform your leg circulation by itself. Next comes green tea at number 9. Green tea has earned a healthy reputation for good reason. It contains natural plant compounds that support blood vessel health, reduce oxidative stress, and may improve endothelial function over time. The problem is that its effect is usually modest and gradual, especially if someone is looking for noticeable improvement in the legs and feet. It is not the kind of drink most people consume and then suddenly feel warmth returning that same day. Green tea is more of a long-game option. Its benefits tend to build with regular use rather than delivering a dramatic short-term change. It can also be sensitive to preparation. If brewed too hot, some of its valuable compounds can be reduced, which means many people never even get the full benefit from what they are drinking. Then we move to number 8, tart cherry juice. This is where things begin to get more interesting. Tart cherry juice contains pigments and plant compounds that may help reduce inflammation and support healthier vessel function. For some people, it can be a meaningful step up from water or green tea, but there is a catch that cannot be ignored. Many tart cherry juices contain a lot of natural sugar, and for older adults who already struggle with blood sugar issues, that can complicate the picture. A drink that helps in one direction but creates trouble in another is not ideal. It may still have value when diluted and used thoughtfully, but it is not the best choice for everyone. So at this point in the ranking, we have a clear pattern. Water is necessary but limited. Green tea is respectable but slow. Tart cherry juice has some promise but comes with drawbacks. These are not worthless drinks, but they are not the heavy hitters people may hope for. The truly stronger options are still ahead, and as we move upward on the list, the circulation benefits become harder to ignore. At number 7, we have pomegranate juice, and this is one of the first drinks on the list that feels genuinely impressive. Pomegranate contains powerful antioxidant compounds that may help protect nitric oxide from being broken down too quickly. That matters because improving circulation is not only about producing more nitric oxide, but also about preserving what your body already makes. If that protective effect is strong enough, blood vessels can remain more relaxed and responsive, which may support better flow into the lower legs. Some people also like pomegranate juice because it feels like a more pleasant option compared with stronger tasting vegetable drinks that show up later in the ranking. But once again, there is an important downside. Pure pomegranate juice is often expensive, and like tart cherry juice, it can also be high in sugar. That means it may not be the smartest daily solution for everyone, especially if budget or blood sugar is a concern. It works better as a helpful option than as the ultimate answer. At number 6, we move to cocoa drinks made with real unsweetened cocoa powder. This is where the list starts getting exciting because cocoa contains natural flavonols that can support nitric oxide production and improve blood vessel function more noticeably than the drinks below it. The key here is preparation. We are not talking about sugary hot chocolate packets or dessert-style mixes. We are talking about pure cocoa prepared in a simple form, ideally without a lot of sugar added. When used correctly, cocoa can become a legitimate circulation-supporting drink, and many people report that they can actually feel a difference in warmth and comfort after drinking it consistently. It's higher on the list because it offers more direct vascular support while still being accessible to a lot of people. Then comes number 5, watermelon juice, the point where this ranking enters the top tier. Watermelon contains citrulline, an amino acid the body can convert into compounds that support nitric oxide production. That makes it particularly interesting for circulation, because it gives the body one of the raw materials it needs to help blood vessels open more effectively. People often notice that watermelon feels refreshing, light, and easier to enjoy than many other healthy drinks, which gives it a practical advantage. It may also be more tolerable for someone who does not want strong vegetable flavors. The challenge is convenience. Fresh watermelon juice is not always available year-round, and making it regularly can become inconvenient or costly depending on where you live. Still, in terms of how it supports circulation, it deserves its high ranking. At this stage, we can see a major shift. The lower-ranked drinks were mostly supportive in general ways, but these middle-ranked drinks begin to target blood vessel function more directly. Pomegranate helps protect nitric oxide, cocoa helps encourage it, and watermelon helps the body build toward it. That is why the list becomes much more effective from here on out, and the most powerful drinks have not even arrived yet. The next ones do not just sound healthy on paper. They stand out because they offer stronger practical circulation support for people who want real changes in how their legs feel and function. Drink number 4 is hibiscus tea, and for many people this may be the biggest surprise on the list. Hibiscus does not always get the attention that trendier health drinks receive, yet it has characteristics that make it highly valuable for circulation support. It contains plant compounds that can help the blood vessels relax and may also support healthier blood pressure, which is important because circulation is not just about the legs themselves but about the entire system pushing blood through the body efficiently. When pressure is better regulated and vessel function improves, the lower legs often benefit in ways people can actually notice, such as less cramping, reduced heaviness, and more comfortable walking. Another reason hibiscus ranks so highly is that it is usually affordable and simple to prepare. For someone who wants a daily habit that is easy to sustain without spending a lot, hibiscus tea offers strong practical appeal. The only caution is that because it may help lower blood pressure, people already taking medication for that should be careful and discuss changes with their doctor. At number 3, we get to celery juice. This is one of the strongest natural contenders because celery contains dietary nitrates, and those nitrates can be converted through the body's natural processes into nitric oxide. That gives celery juice a more direct connection to blood vessel widening than many of the drinks below it. It is not just supportive in a vague way, it is tied to one of the main mechanisms that matter most for circulation. For that reason, celery juice can be especially appealing to people who want a drink that feels purposeful rather than simply healthy. The downside is taste and preparation. Some people do not enjoy the earthy, salty flavor at all, and unless you buy prepared juice, making it fresh usually requires equipment and effort. But from a results standpoint, it earns its high position. Then we arrive at drink number 2, the arugula smoothie. Arugula may not sound glamorous, but in terms of nitrate density, it is one of the most potent foods available. When blended into a smoothie with carefully chosen ingredients, it becomes one of the most powerful circulation-supporting drinks a person can make at home. The reason it ranks above celery juice is not just strength but concentration. Arugula gives the body a serious nitrate boost, and that can help support noticeably better blood flow over time. Many people who use nitrate-rich leafy greens regularly report warmer extremities, less fatigue while walking, and fewer feelings of tightness or discomfort in the lower legs. The catch, of course, is commitment. This is not the kind of drink most people casually throw together forever unless they are serious about their health. takes preparation, consistency, and willingness to drink something green every day. But if someone wants a truly strong natural option before we get to number 1, arugula deserves tremendous respect. By now, the pattern is undeniable. As the ranking rises, the drinks become more concentrated in the very compounds that support nitric oxide and blood vessel flexibility. These are no longer small improvements around the edges. These are the options that begin to change how your circulation feels in daily life. Now we come to drink number 1, the strongest option on this list for supporting circulation naturally: beetroot juice. Beetroot stands at the top because it combines power, practicality, and a direct biological effect in a way very few other drinks can match. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, and those nitrates can be transformed by the body into nitric oxide, the compound that helps blood vessels relax and widen. That is the central reason beetroot juice has earned such a strong reputation among athletes, researchers, and health-conscious adults alike. When blood vessels become more open and flexible, blood can move more efficiently through the body, including into the lower legs and feet where circulation problems often become most noticeable. That is why beetroot juice is often associated with warmer legs, less cramping, better walking comfort, and a greater sense of ease during daily movement. Another reason it ranks first is that it is relatively accessible. Many stores carry it, and people with the right equipment can make it themselves at home. It is also easier to standardize than many other circulation drinks, making it simpler to build into a daily routine. Of course, it is not perfect. Some people dislike the earthy taste. Others may notice harmless pink or red discoloration in the urine after drinking it, which can be surprising if they are not expecting it. And anyone with special kidney concerns or a history of oxalate-related issues should be cautious and check with a professional. But for the average older adult looking for a strong natural way to support blood flow, beetroot juice is hard to beat. So how should someone actually use this information? The smartest approach is not to bounce between random drinks every few days, hoping something works. Consistency matters. A practical starting point would be to make beetroot juice the foundation of the routine, then add one secondary option such as hibiscus tea or celery juice later in the day if extra support is desired. Arugula. Smoothies can also be rotated in several times a week for those willing to put in the effort. The point is not perfection. The point is giving the body the materials it has been missing. There are also a few important mistakes to avoid. Do not rely on sugary processed versions of these drinks. Do not assume one serving will change everything overnight, and do not stop prescribed medications without proper guidance. These drinks are tools to support circulation, not replacements for responsible care. What matters most is the bigger message behind this ranking. Circulation decline is not always an unavoidable sentence of aging. In many cases, the body is simply lacking the compounds it needs to keep blood vessels functioning well. When you restore those compounds through smart daily habits, improvement becomes possible. If you commit to the right drink consistently, especially a top option like beetroot juice, you may begin to notice changes not just in warmth or comfort, but in confidence, endurance, and independence. That is why this list matters. It is not just about beverages. It is about giving your legs a better chance to carry you well for years to come. Now that you know the ranking, the next step is understanding how to actually apply this in real life, because information without execution changes nothing. Most people make the mistake of trying something for a few days, not seeing dramatic overnight results, and then quitting before the real benefits even begin. Circulation does not collapse in a week, and it does not fully rebuild in a week either, but the body responds surprisingly fast when given the right compounds consistently. The foundation of this entire strategy starts with one simple habit: choosing a primary drink and sticking to it daily. If you want the strongest and most reliable option, beetroot juice becomes your anchor. Drinking it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach allows your body to absorb the nitrates efficiently, giving you the best possible start to the day. That empty stomach detail matters more than people realize, because mixing these compounds immediately with heavy food can reduce how effectively they are converted into nitric oxide. After establishing that base, you can layer in a secondary drink depending on your preference and tolerance. For example, hibiscus tea in the afternoon can support blood vessel relaxation, while celery juice can provide another nitrate boost if you want to push results further. The key is not to overload yourself with 5 different drinks at once. Simplicity and consistency always outperform complexity and inconsistency. Another overlooked factor is timing habits around these drinks. Many people unknowingly cancel out the benefits by using antibacterial mouthwash immediately after consuming nitrate-rich beverages. That may sound unrelated, but it directly interferes with the natural conversion process that begins in the mouth, where beneficial bacteria help transform nitrates into usable compounds. Remove that step, and you weaken the entire chain. Small details like this separate people who get real results from those who feel like nothing works. The goal here is not perfection. It is building a routine that your body can rely on daily. Within a few days, you may start to feel subtle warmth returning to your feet. Within a week, the heaviness in your legs may begin to ease. These are early signs that blood flow is improving. Stay consistent, and those small changes begin to stack into something much more noticeable. As you continue with this routine, it is important to understand what progress actually looks like, because many people expect dramatic transformation overnight and overlook the real signals of improvement. Circulation recovery tends to follow a pattern. First, there is a subtle shift in temperature. Feet that once felt constantly cold begin to feel neutral or slightly warm without extra layers or heating. This may seem small, but it is one of the earliest indicators that blood flow is improving. Next comes a reduction in discomfort. Cramping, tightness, or that heavy, dragging sensation in the legs starts to decrease, especially during walking or standing. You may notice that you can move a little longer before feeling fatigued, or that getting up from a chair feels slightly easier than it did a week before. These changes often happen gradually, not all at once, which is why many people underestimate them. Then comes endurance. Activities that once required effort begin to feel more manageable. Walking distances increase, balance improves, and confidence starts to return. This stage is critical because it reduces the fear of movement, which itself plays a major role in maintaining independence. Poor circulation does not just affect the body physically. It affects behavior. When people feel unstable or uncomfortable, they move less, and that creates a downward spiral. Breaking that cycle is one of the biggest benefits of improving blood flow. Over time, there may also be visible changes. Skin on the lower legs can appear healthier, with better color and less dryness. Swelling may reduce slightly, and the overall appearance of the legs can look more alive compared to before. These are signs that tissues are receiving better oxygen and nutrients. However, it is important to stay realistic. This is not about chasing perfection or expecting the legs of a 20-year-old. It is about meaningful improvement in function and comfort. The biggest mistake at this stage is inconsistency. Skipping days, constantly switching drinks, or abandoning the routine too early can reset progress. The body responds to repeated signals, not occasional efforts. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Doing it once in a while does not protect you. Doing it daily does. Circulation works the same way. Give your body the compounds it needs every day, and it adapts. Ignore it, and it slowly declines again. While these drinks can be powerful, there are critical mistakes that can completely undermine your progress if you are not careful. The first is relying on processed or sugary versions of these beverages. Many products marketed as healthy juices are loaded with added sugars, preservatives, and artificial ingredients that do more harm than good, especially for older adults. Excess sugar can interfere with blood vessel function and may even worsen circulation in the long run. Always check labels and choose the purest form available. The second mistake is expecting instant, permanent results from short-term use. Some improvement can happen quickly, especially in how your legs feel, but true vascular support takes time. The body needs consistent exposure to these compounds to maintain and build on progress. Stopping after a few days or weeks and expecting lasting change is unrealistic. The third mistake is ignoring existing medical conditions. These drinks support circulation, but they are not replacements for professional care. If you are on medication for blood pressure, blood thinning, or other cardiovascular concerns, you should always be aware of how new habits might interact with your current plan. The fourth mistake is poor timing. Drinking nitrate-rich beverages right after a heavy meal or combining them with habits that interfere with absorption reduces their effectiveness. Simple adjustments, like spacing them away from meals and avoiding certain habits afterward, can make a noticeable difference in results. The fifth mistake is overcomplicating everything. Many people try to combine multiple drinks, supplements, and routines all at once, hoping to accelerate progress. In reality, this often leads to inconsistency and burnout. A simple, repeatable routine will always outperform a complicated one that cannot be maintained. The final mistake is mindset. Believing that circulation decline is completely unavoidable can prevent people from even trying to improve it. While aging does bring changes, it does not mean that nothing can be done. The body still responds to the right inputs at any age. These drinks are not magic solutions, but they are tools. When used correctly and consistently, they can support better blood flow, improved comfort, and greater confidence in movement. Avoid these mistakes, and you give yourself a much better chance of seeing real, lasting benefits. At its core, this entire approach is not really about drinks at all. It is about correcting a gap that has slowly developed over time. Modern diets often lack the natural compounds that support healthy blood vessel function, especially those found in vegetables and plant-based foods rich in nitrates and antioxidants. Decades ago, people consumed more of these foods regularly without thinking about it. Today, many diets are heavily processed and stripped of these beneficial elements, which can contribute to declining circulation as the body ages. When you introduce targeted drinks like beetroot juice, hibiscus tea, or nitrate-rich green smoothies, you are not doing something unnatural. You are restoring what the body has been missing. That is why these changes can feel so noticeable. You are not forcing the body to do something new. You are giving it the materials it was designed to use. Another important concept is that circulation is not isolated to the legs. It reflects the health of the entire vascular system. Improving blood flow in the lower body often supports better overall function, including energy levels, cognitive clarity, and even recovery from daily activities. When oxygen and nutrients are delivered more efficiently, everything works better. This is why focusing on circulation can have benefits that go beyond just reducing discomfort in the feet or legs. It supports the body as a whole. It is also worth recognizing that small, consistent improvements can lead to meaningful long-term outcomes. Better circulation can reduce the likelihood of falls, improve mobility, and help maintain independence, which becomes increasingly valuable with age. These are not minor benefits. They directly impact quality of life. The key takeaway is that your body is not broken. It is adapting to what it has been given. When you change what you give it, the response can be surprisingly positive. That is the power of simple, consistent habits. You do not need extreme measures or expensive solutions. You need the right inputs applied regularly. This is what turns a temporary improvement into a lasting change. So here is the challenge that brings everything together. Instead of overthinking, overanalyzing, or jumping from one idea to another, commit to a simple plan for the next 30 days. Choose one primary drink, ideally beetroot juice if it is accessible to you, and make it a daily habit every morning. Keep it consistent. Do not skip days. Do not constantly switch options. Give your body a clear, repeated signal that it can respond to. If you want to enhance the effect, add one secondary drink such as hibiscus tea or celery juice later in the day, but keep the routine manageable. Pay attention to how your body feels, not just on day one, but over time. Notice small changes in warmth, comfort, and movement. Track how far you can walk, how stable you feel, and how your legs respond to daily activity. These observations matter more than chasing instant results. At the end of 30 days, compare how you feel to where you started. In many cases, the difference is not just physical, but mental. When your legs feel stronger and more reliable, your confidence grows, you move more freely, you worry less about discomfort or instability. That shift alone can change how you approach daily life. It is also important to stay realistic and responsible. These drinks support circulation, but they are not a replacement for medical care or prescribed treatment. Always work within your personal health context. The goal is to support your body, not to ignore professional guidance. What matters most is taking action. Information without action leads nowhere. You now understand which drinks are weakest, which are moderate, and which are most effective. You understand why nitric oxide matters, how blood vessels respond, and what your body needs to function better. The only thing left is to apply it. Start tomorrow. Keep it simple. Stay consistent. Give your body the chance to respond, because when circulation improves, it is not just your legs that benefit. Your mobility improves. Your independence improves, and your overall quality of life moves in a better direction.